Hey everybody, it's Bob Crossan, Senior Managing Editor for Water and Waste Digest. Now, throughout the month of September, we're going to be doing something a little bit different with our videos. In September, we announce our industry icon, and we're going to have a couple interviews with people who are friends, colleagues, and just know our industry icon and know the characteristics that make him an industry icon, and will culminate in an interview with the icon himself. So today, I have with me Greg Quist. He is the CEO of SmartCover.
Hi, Bob. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for being on the call, Greg. We really appreciate you taking the time. Now, our industry icon this year is David Drake. He is the VP of Innovation for you guys. Could you talk a little bit about how you first came to know David? How did you guys meet?
I was minding my own business in 1990, and the mayor of Escondido gave me a call and said, "Do you want to run for this water board?" And I was doing defense work and that sort of thing, and never really thought about being involved in water. So I ended up running, and I ended up winning. I was on a local water board, and 6 years later, the water board named me to the San Diego County Water Authority board of directors as well. And when I got down there, there was a fellow that was on the board that was actually there from the city of Escondido, as opposed to the district that's around it. And his name was David Drake, and he was a Caltech electrical engineer. And my background is in physics, so it turns out we were birds of a feather. So we got to know each other and got to like each other. And so that's how we eventually met. Was in 1996 on the County Water Authority Board of Directors.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about how things evolved into you guys starting SmartCover together. It's like you said, you kind of had this marriage of brainwaves here that kind of created this new this technology and this opportunity for you.
So the fact that we were both in water and the fact that we were both technologists kind of led to that. In fact, 1993, the cryptosporidium outbreak that took place in Milwaukee was one of the things that drove that. I was on the Aqua Water Quality Committee and actually came up with a technology that was able to detect cryptosporidium in real time. And David worked with me on some of those projects. In fact, we started a couple companies doing that. And once those companies ran out, we sold them off. We were sitting around his living room in 2005, and we said, what are we going to do at this point? So we ended up calling three of our friends, and that's how SmartCover was started. We called three friends and said, "What keeps you up at night?" And the answer was the same from each one of them. So we didn't do a whole lot of deep market research, but it was very consistent. What do you do about sewer overflows? So we jumped on the internet to see what was going on. Nobody was solving this problem. There was no patents in the patent office, so that's how SmartCover got started.
Yeah. David was saying the same thing. It just seemed like a market where there wasn't the technology had not really changed in a long time. So it was a ripe opportunity to really advance it a little bit. So, yeah. So you have known David for all these years as a business partner. I imagine you guys have become close friends as well. Could you talk a little bit about what he means to you, like just in general as a person? I imagine you guys have gotten, like I said, pretty close.
David's a man of strong principle and strong ethics. He's a trustworthy guy. He's one of those people you talk about being able to trust people in very difficult situations. He's that kind of guy. He's a loyal fellow. He'll stand by you all the time. He has been a great friend. I can lean on him and seek his advice. So he's been very good about that. And we've worked on several businesses together. So we've really got to know each other very, very well. We have a lot of fun together. We joke around. We have little games we play with each other. It's all a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what makes him such a good business partner then too? It sounds like the loyalty that he can display and his just his conviction sound like very good qualities for someone to go into business with.
Absolutely. And like I mentioned the Caltech thing before, and I have great respect for anybody that goes to Caltech, because if you know much about Caltech, they only let like 200 people in every year. So it's a very small class, they're the creme de la creme of technologists. And so just to know somebody like that, and the fact that, he can string a sentence together and make a lot of sense, that's a tremendous capability. So he's really, really smart, for one thing. And second of all, like I said, he's very loyal and trustworthy. You can keep a secret with him. He'll keep your secrets. You can depend on him. He knows a lot about a lot of different things. He's not specifically really good in one area. He's good in a lot of areas. He's also able to hold an opposing opinion without being disagreeable. So he and I would have all these discussions about which way we should go in the business, or what should we do in this way. And he was also very good about making sure that he was never disagreeable. He was always trying to find a way to solve problems.
Mhm.
And I think that was also very helpful. He has vision that a lot of people don't have. And that's something that you depend on. He sees things long before people see them.
Yeah. A couple of the things that I got from interviewing him for the written piece was that he specifically said, attack the problem, not the person. I
Correct.
think that that's really exemplified what you just said there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's been to a T.
Yeah. So describe a memorable moment that you've had with him. I have you guys outside of the office and stuff. I imagine you guys have spent some time together. Do you have like a fun moment that you had together that that you're willing to share?
Well, I have to say that some of our WEFTech travels, when we went to some of these shows in Chicago and New Orleans, were a lot of fun, right? These parties that happen after the show days and that sort of thing, those are always a lot of fun. But I do have to go back to that time when we were sitting around literally in his living room in 2005, and we shuttled off this one company that was doing the cryptosporidium stuff, and we're sitting around going, what do we do next, Dave? We're both unemployed. We don't have this old company we're working for anymore. And I said, let's call up our friends. So that's what we did. And I think that was a big deal, because we decided together we're going to try this. The water industry needs technology. They were doing things that are decades old, and it happened that in 2005 the technologies for power and electronics and communications were all coming together. The iPhone came out in 2006, right? So all the technologies were just confluencing at the right time. And with David and I, we were able to pull that together. And I think that's pretty amazing that we were able to do that. We literally were a garage shop at that point.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like this catalyzing moment between the two of you. You'd known each other for a while, had deep respect, and then all of a sudden you're like, here's we have a moment. Like we can seize a moment right now.
Yes, let's do this together, David. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. What I mean, obviously we've named him an industry icon. If you could name three qualities that David has or characteristics that David has that exemplify that what are some characteristics, some qualities that he exemplifies that you aspire to achieve in yourself?
Well, you mentioned one of them already. That's collaboration. He likes to bring people with differing viewpoints together. And I'm a big believer in that. I think a lot of times solutions come from outside your mainstream. And you'll see that in history a lot of times when people from outside an academic field or something come in from the outside with different ideas, all of a sudden there's a leap forward with solutions. And David's very good at doing that and bringing people in from different areas and collaborating and solve problems. I'd say the second thing is he's a very encouraging type of guy too. He likes to bring people up and get the best out of them. So he's a leader in that sense, that he's a strong encourager. I'd like to follow that as well. And probably the last thing is humility. For a guy that's as smart as he doesn't come off as a braggadocio. He's very calm about that. He knows a lot of stuff, and if you talk to him, you'll recognize, man, this guy's really smart, but doesn't act like he's really smart. I aspire to be like that as well.
Yeah, he doesn't try to dominate conversation with how intelligent he is. He
Right.
just tries to have a genuine conversation with you.
And he wants to know what you think, right? So he can bring that into the way he solves problems.
Yeah, yeah. It's this lifelong learner thing that he was mentioning for himself. He considers himself a lifelong learner, so he's always humbled by the knowledge that others bring to him, I feel like. It seems.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you think, why do you think he is deserving of being named our industry icon this year?
One thing about David is he's touched a lot of people in the water industry in a lot of different ways. We can start with our little company, SmartCover, we've already solved a lot of problems. We've helped our customers stop sewer spills and stop overflows and optimize their cleaning and all that sort of thing. But beyond that, he's touched a lot of other people in the water industry. At the local water board that we're on together, he's been very involved there. He knows all the local people. He's on a statewide board called Aqua JPIA, which stands for Association of California Water Agencies Joint Powers Insurance Authority. He's on the executive board there, and he's moved his way up there just because he's a really lovable kind of guy. Everybody likes to hug him. He's a big, well, at least they used to like to hug him. Can't do that anymore, but they'll do it again. But anyway, at the state level, he's very well known. And as we've gone out and marketed and gone to trade shows, people know him nationally as well. So he's known in a lot of different areas, from the technology side to the policy making side to the political side, and he's very well liked in all those areas. So in that sense, I think it's appropriate for him to be an icon. And I think he's universally recognized as a out of the box kind of thought leader. He's always willing to bring in other ideas to help solve problems. And like you said, attack the problem and not the person. And he's very, very good at doing that. And in water, we've got plenty of problems that we're going to have, both today and in the future. And he's the kind of guy you want to have as part of your team help solve those problems.
Yeah, I those are all reasons why we considered him for it. It just his involvement in the industry and his, I mean, he just tries to be as involved as possible, it sounds. And
Yes,
we value that like really highly in this process. So it really helped escalate him and shoot him to the top of the ladder there. So,
I think
well,
you made a good choice.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us a little bit about David today. For everyone who's watching, stay tuned. Next week, we'll have another video interview with another one of his colleagues and friends. Until next time.